As an organization's business data continues to grow, having the ability to seamlessly connect, merge, and analyze data from various sources becomes critical. The data report component is one of the 6 application components of Yeeflow. With Data Report, you can use the Visual Data Designer to extract, merge, and perform unified data analysis of business data from multiple data sources in Yeeflow. The Data Report component allows you to connect and easily integrate with various data sources to aggregate and analyze data in a structured way. We can imagine such a scenario. If you are a company's HR director, every month you need to calculate the salary of employees in various departments. Calculating employee salary requires the use of employee list, employee payroll, employee performance form, employee attendance sheet. That is to say, you need to be dispersed through the salary data in each form according to certain rules for statistical calculation to get the final data. So how do we solve this situation? We can realize data processing, handling, and integration through the data report component. Integrate the scattered data in the enterprise together, and then carry out summary calculations. First, open the Yeeflow application. Click the plus button to open the new component window. Click the Data Report component and enter the name of the data report, Employee Salary Database. Click the OK button to open the Data Builder. The Data Output node is added by default within the canvas. In the Node panel on the left, we can see that there is only Data Source node under the Data Source column and 6 nodes under the Data Transform column, where the Data Source node implements data processing through the Data Transform nodes. Click and drag the Data Source node to the right canvas. In the pop-up Data Source window, select Application and Data Source. You can also set the filter conditions for the data. Select the list fields that will be used for the data flow in the drop-down menu on the right side and click the OK button to save. In the Data Source Settings panel on the left, you can modify the name of the node. Click on the Change button. You can reselect the associated data list and list fields. Click on the Data Preview button. You can see the current data of this table. After the data source is set up, we drag in the Data Transform node and then connected to the connection line. When the process data is obtained and then connected to the Data Output node, the construction of the data flow is completed. Next, we will combine the case to introduce the function of each node in detail. First, we start with an introduction to merge data. If we have 2 tables, one for employee list and one for employee performance, and if we want to see the department and performance of employees in one table, we can use Merge Data node at this time. The merge data is the left-right splice of data from 2 tables based on the set mapped fields and join kind. In the Data Builder, drag in 2 data source nodes. The first data source node selects the employee list, and the list fields select the name and department fields. The second data source node selects the employee performance form, and the list fields select the name and performance fields. Then, drag in the Merge Data node and connect the 2 data source nodes. Open the Settings panel of the Merge Data node. There are 2 key settings here, Merge Settings and Join Kind. First, let's talk about what are mapped fields. Employee List and Employee Performance Form. If you want to select a mapped field to connect the 2 tables, you should select the Name field because the Name field is common to both tables and it can be used as an identifier for data uniqueness. Then, click on the Data Preview button to see the data table after it has been processed by the Merge Data node. If we check the Merge Mapped Fields checkbox, we can see that the mapped field, Name, will be merged into a single field and will not be displayed repeatedly. The next step is to introduce what is Join Kind. There are 4 types of join kinds: left join, right join, full join, and inner join, where the default join kind is left join. Let's demonstrate the different join kinds with an animation. The employee list and the employee performance form both have 2 people, Sarah and Chloe, and the other employees appear individually in both tables. For this kind of data, which appears only in a single table, how to display it after merging the data. Left join is to keep all the data in the left table. The right table does not have the value of the associated field in the left table. The record is not displayed. Right join is the same as left join. Right join keeps all the data of the right table. There is no value of the associated field of the right table in the left table. The record is not displayed. Full join is to keep all the data of both tables. The missing values are not displayed. Inner join is to display only the data common to both tables, and not to display the data that are not the same. The Merge Data node connects multiple data sources horizontally, while the Append Data node connects multiple data sources vertically. For example, we have a marketing list and a sales list. Here you can use the Append Data node to vertically join the data in the two tables to get a complete employee performance table. In the Data Builder, we drag in two more data source nodes, the data source node associated with the marketing employee list and the sales employee list, list field selection name, department, performance fields. Then drag in the Append Data node and connect the two data source nodes. Open the Settings panel of Append Data. The mapped fields will be matched automatically to complete the appending of data and get the complete employee performance table. Then click on the Data Preview button to see the data table after it has been processed by the Append Data node. The logic of the group by node is divided into two steps. The first step is divided into a group according to the same value of the grouping field. And the second step is that after the group is divided, the aggregation fields in each group will be aggregated again in accordance with the set dimension way. For example, through the group by node, we summarized the sum of the performance of the marketing and sales employees in separate groups. In the Data Builder, drag in the group by node and connect it with the Append Data node. Open the Settings panel of the group by node and click the Add Grouping Field button below the grouping fields. Because we need to display the marketing and sales fields in groups, so select Department for the grouping field. Under Aggregation Fields, click on Add Aggregation Fields button to summarize the performance fields as a total. The final preview allows you to see what the performance totals are for each department. Next, we introduce the Data Filter node, where we can add filters to the Data Filter node so that only data that meets the filters will be displayed. For example, if we set the filter condition to marketing, only the employee records of the marketing department will be displayed. In the Data Builder, we drag in the Data Filter node next to the Merge Data node and connect it with the Merge Data node. Open the Settings panel of the Data Filter node, click the Condition button next to Data Filters, and set the filter condition to Department equals Marketing. Click on Data Preview to see that the data table only shows employees in the marketing department. The Field Settings node allows you to set the order in which fields are displayed, sort hidden fields, rename fields, and add new calculated fields. In the Data Builder, we drag in a data source node associated with the employee payroll table, with the list fields selected name, department, performance, and basic salary. Drag in the Field Settings node and connect it to the Data Source node. Open the Settings panel of the Field Settings node. Click the Settings button of the Display Fields. The existing fields in our data source are name, department, performance, and basic salary. Check the checkboxes of the fields you want to display. And in the text boxes under the Display Name column, you can change the names of the displayed fields. You can also adjust the order of the fields in the datasheet. Or we can add a calculated field, such as a salary field, and modify the field type. The value of the salary field is set to performance plus basic salary, so we get a new field. Click Preview and see the changes. Finally, there is an introduction to the Remove Duplicate node. The purpose of the Remove Duplicate node is to eliminate duplicate inputs and ensure the accuracy of the data. We can remove multiple duplicates for the same employee. In the Data Builder, we drag in a data source node associated with the employee payroll table with the list fields selected name, department, performance, and basic salary. Then drag the Remove Duplicate node to the canvas and connect the data source node to it. There are multiple duplicate records of employees in the data list, and we can remove the duplicate records of employees through the Remove Duplicate node. Open the Settings panel of the Remove Duplicate node. Under the Deduplication field column, click the Add Field button to add the corresponding field you want to deduplicate. Click on Data Preview to see that multiple duplicates of the same employee have been removed. Finally, connect the Data Output node and publish the data. You can see the process data presented as a list. In this video, you have learned how to configure and use Yeeflow Data Report, as well as its practical use in business scenarios. Data reports enable you to generate comprehensive reports for in-depth data analysis without the need for complex manual data processing. If you would like to learn more tutorials on Yeeflow, please stay tuned to our channel. Thanks for watching.